The slide. Number D. I don't think they need to worry about that. Mainly to share my slide, and I need to see my slide. Okay, all right. Okay. They can hear me now. Will I be able to hear? Will they be able to speak? Yes. All right, guys. Very good morning. Hope you guys are well. You can hear me loud and clear. Maybe one of you can unmute yourself and just to say hello.
Yes, we can hear you well.
Oh, very good, very good. So basically, today's session, there was supposed to be a few physically in the room over here, but till now there are none. So we could have actually done this totally virtually. Anyway, no problem. The only thing is I believe you can see me walking up and down over here. All right. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at accreditation of prior experiential learning, or what is widely known as APEL in Malaysia. Just give me a second. Just let me configure this a little bit. Yeah. Oh, okay, then that is fine. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can raise your hands or you can just ask verbally. Okay. So when we talk about APEL itself in Malaysia, APEL is something that was introduced by the Malaysian government to encourage individuals who have numerous years of experience working, however, do not attain the required qualifications or did not manage to attain due to many numerous reasons. Some of them pertaining to maybe the focus during that time when this person wanted to study. It could be financial challenges, time challenges, or also family challenges. What the government identified was there are many individuals like this who have reached a glass ceiling due to not because of capability or ability, but because of the qualifications that this person has or have not attained. So that is why there was this introduction of APEL. If you look into the definition of what it is itself, the words or the explanation here clearly states it. Accreditation, recognizing, to recognize. What do we recognize? We recognize prior experiential learning. Prior experiential learning will be all types of learning an individual goes through. All types of learning. Now, learning for all of us comes in many different forms and types. So, like for example, going through a YouTube video will also be a process of learning. So what happens then is we attain new knowledge. Attaining new knowledge, and from there, that is part of learning. So in our daily lives, ladies and gentlemen, we go through numerous stages and also types of learning. It could be formally, it could be informally or non-formally itself. Some of us, in our interest, we enjoy things such as like photography. So what we do is we buy books, we watch YouTube videos, we ask friends, and we join courses. However, these things are done in our own interest. But that is also regarded as learning. So once we understand that learning encompasses a wide array of things, it is important for us to understand that today, what under APEL is to recognize these types of learning that individuals actually partake. So that is what basically in a nutshell APEL is. However, it is not as simple just to say, I recognize your learning based on what you say. Because in all things, like as you know, when we work with or members pertaining to the government and also NQA, the key element here, ladies and gentlemen, is this thing called evidence. Evidencing is critical to ensure that the individual who says that they know or have learned this will be able to show or to demonstrate their ability or their competency in a particular level. It means, like for example, earlier on, earlier on, when I was explaining to you on things such as my interest in photography itself, it is not possible for me just to tell the facilitator, yes, I know photography, that is why I should get credit exemption or credit transfer for this particular subject. No, the examiner or the institution itself needs to ask what kind of evidence can I show to justify my competency in photography. That is what we are going to do. That is what we are going to explain in today's session. So in today's session, basically what we are going to look at will be the emergence of APEL, types and objectives of APEL, policies of APEL, APEL assessment tool, and implementation of APEL. Now, a little word of caveat over here, because these APEL processes evolve over time. It is constantly evolving. So there could be new things that are being implemented today itself, or maybe just a week or two down the road. So it's important for us to keep ourselves abreast and not take today's presentation as final. Because over the years, it has evolved. We started with APEL A, then we have C, then we have Q, then we have a subset of A, which is M, and so on. So there are numerous types of APELs that have been introduced. And why are they introduced? And why are these numerous types being introduced? Because there are different avenues on how accreditation of prior experiential learning can be seen. From access, going into a program, to when an individual is already in the program and they will be able to go through FLC and so on. So what we are going to do is we are going to touch on the key areas of these different types of FL itself. Okay. Now, so as I earlier said, when we are looking into the emergence of APEL, one key aspect was the Malaysian Education Blueprint 2015 to 2025. So this year, 2024, next year, 25, and subsequently, there should be a new blueprint that will take it from 26 on the way onwards to 2035. Okay, now, when we look into our Malaysian Education Blueprint, like all blueprints, it is like a map to say what do we want to achieve. And the changing of the expectations of employers and also what is required by a student will drive this blueprint itself. When we look into Malaysia itself, if you look into the 2015-2025 blueprint, a lot of emphasis was on matters pertaining to STEM, right? So it was science, technology, and whatnot. I foresee that going forward, the new blueprint draft is already out, and there will be more emphasis on things such as like SDGs, the environment, society, and so on. Now, the reason why blueprints evolve is because society evolves, and also the need of the nation also evolves. Malaysia during then and Malaysia tomorrow will be very different. And this difference will drive what is required in every individual that comes out from our institution. All right. So when we look at APEL, one key or critical document that has had an impact on its implementation was very much the Malaysian Education Blueprint 15 to 25. In this blueprint, there were many key areas that were supposed to be developed in the curriculum to develop good individuals, good graduates of Malaysia. And one of its key pillars was nation of lifelong learners. So they want individuals not to stop learning, but to continuously learn. Because the process of learning doesn't just stop when formal education stops. Now, for many of us, when we talk about formal education, ask yourself, when was your last formal education that you have gone through? Some of you may have just attained your PhD, maybe 18 months ago, 24 months ago, and that is fine. Some of us, my last formal education was 16 years ago. And 16 years ago, whatever that I have learned or have attained then may not be that relevant today. And I'm being very kind, that relevant, or I can even say not relevant at all, because things change. I did, for example, for myself, I did my degree then in the late 90s. It was in 97, 98. Whatever I learned then, if I recall back, majority of the things especially on technology, is no more relevant because things have changed so much. All right. But during that time, it was critical. So evolution, that is what happens. The need for the nation during that time, what was needed was different. So when you look at this current blueprint itself, nation of lifelong learners. So if you want lifelong learners, you want people to continue, you want them to get qualifications, then the government realized that they need to create an environment that is feasible and suitable for these individuals. Visualize most of your students who are working, or maybe yourself. You're working, you're a full-time employee, you may be a parent, and time is something that you do not have if you want to do a full-time program. Okay, full-time program meaning you need to come for classes within 9 to 5, you need to do X number of credits in a semester and so on. Many of us are very much unable to do that. So what they have done is to make it in a way that the government understands it is difficult for a person to achieve the 120 credits required in a degree. 120 credits. So how can we allow or get an individual to still achieve that 120 credits, however, in a more conducive environment? So this is what it is. We want them to achieve. No way, please take note now, no way is APEL diluting the quality of the award. It is not diluting the quality of the award. All right. It is recognizing that this individual has attained certain level of qualification, certain level of learning, thus allowing this person to reduce the duration required to attain the award. Okay. Now, so that is the first thing that we need to understand why the government has did this. And the reason why one key aspect or on the matter on this is the understanding that learning is not just sitting in class, attending lessons. That is not what learning is. Learning is the process of comprehending whatever that has been delivered. And comprehending can come in many different forms. You can go to class, like what our students are doing, or you can also, like what I said earlier on, YouTube videos, reading on your own, and sourcing for your own information. Different pathway, but same destination. That is what it is. So when we talk about lifelong learning, this is what it is. Different pathway, same destination. Our students, after SPM, they take foundation, and subsequently they do a 3 years degree. So their pathway is very linear, very straight. People who are working, when they work, they gain experience. So they go for a different pathway. However, at the end of the day, if they want to achieve their degree, they go back to the same destination. Okay, the demonstration of competency for the 120 credits. So that is what lifelong learning is. So when you look into MQF itself, which programs allowed for this lifelong learning? Like for many of you over there, I can see some of my colleagues from Penang, from the registry and so on. You will see that, of course, there is a new MQF2, a new edition that was just recently launched. Very interesting document. Not much different from the current one. They did add in a few things about foundation and so on, which is very interesting. So go and read, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to advise you to go and read the new MQF second edition. The MQF second edition, which there's a new revision that was just recently launched. I'll be doing a session just to brief the colleagues on what this new revision is. A lot of emphasis is on the society. So when you look into APEL, Accreditation of Prior Experiential Learning, you will see that this APEL itself covers or allows for all levels, from tahap 1 all the way to tahap 8. Okay, so this allows level 1 to level 8 itself. Okay, so APEL is for all. Okay, so what does it mean is for all? Later, I'm going to explain to you on the numerous types of APEL that is available. And what does it mean that it covers all of this? But it is important for us, on all of us, to understand that here in Malaysia, by following the MQF, it is quite structured in such that for you to attain a particular level, for example, a level 6, which is a degree, bachelor's degree, there must be or there should be a minimum of 120 credits in the program itself. 120 credits. All right. So level 6, 120 credits. We all know. Then level 7, masters by coursework, 40 by research, no credit rating, and so on. And a diploma, 90 credits. Now, once we understand that, basically at the end of the day, it is easier for us to understand what APEL or how APEL actually works. Now, some of you may actually ask, this is similar, I mean, it is important in APEL, but it also covers a bigger picture. What does credits actually represent? Credit actually represents the effort that is required by an individual to attain a particular level of qualification. That is what credits are. Because a 90 credit at level 4 means for you to attain a level 4 diploma, you need to at least meet that 90 credits. This comes in the aspect of the matter pertaining to rigor, academic rigor. You must put in that effort for you to attain that. Okay, so 90 credits, level 4. And in Malaysia, the definition of what a credit is easily understood. Okay, 1 credit is basically 40 notional hours. So if you see 90 credits, this person must achieve 1 credit, 40, 90 credits. We are talking about 90 times 4. We are looking at the 3,600 notional hours effort to put in. Okay, I need to put in 3,600 notional hours to put in at the level of this to attain a diploma. That is what credits are. Okay, in layman's language. Okay, so the effort that is to put in over there. Now, why is this important? Because as we go on towards explaining the process of APEL itself, that is where you think, hey, but if we put in those hours, then how do we recognize whether a person has achieved that or not? Okay, that is where we will go on later. Okay. So APEL, as what we said earlier on, accreditation of prior experiential learning, the BM explanation in Accreditation, pengalaman pembelajaran terdahulu. Okay, so you recognize what you have actually learned. So when we look into APEL, we look into prior learning, and prior means learning that has been taken before. Okay, and there are 3 types: formal, informal, and non-formal. Okay, which is what I'm going to go to over here. By looking at these pictures, very clear cut, formal learning is any learning that, give me a second. Sorry, terkendala sebentar. Okay, now formal learning is any learning that in Malaysia's context, it is by the ministry or by anyone under a level of the MQF, that is formal learning. SPM is formal learning. STPM is formal learning. A program that is level 4 in UOW Malaysia, a diploma that goes through MQA with a minimum of PA, provisional accreditation, is regarded as formal learning. Okay, simple as that. Non-formal learning is any learning that we learn on our own accord by choice that could give a certificate that it is not categorized under formal. I go and join for a 2-day course in pastry. I like to bake. I join Taylor's pastry program on puff pastry, 2 days. At the end of the day, they give me a certificate to say that this is to arrive that Gabriel has achieved. Okay, Gabriel has gone through a 2-day program on puff pastry from when to when, certificate of attendance or something like that. Or we join an online program in Coursera or something like that. Or we join a micro-credential that is given by UOW Malaysia, non-formal learning. You learn that, but it's not formal. Informal learning is learning based on our own interests. The example I gave you in regards to my interest in photography, that is not informal. Due to our own enjoyment that we get from doing that, we learn. Some of us like to cook, but you don't go for the course. You learn on your own. How do you learn? You follow your parents. Whether your mom cooks, you observe. That is also learning. All right, informal, but you're learning. You are attaining knowledge. You are attaining, but at the end of the day, your mom will not give you a certificate for on your competency in frying fish. Definitely not. But that is also informal learning. Okay, give me a second. Let me check with Ali. Am I able to see when there's a message or anybody writes a comment?
Yeah,
This is you. Sorry. Okay, so that is informal learning. Okay, so many a times we have informal learning in a way that we are even not conscious that we are learning in that. Okay, another example. For example, let's say tonight I needed to prepare a rendang dish. I don't have a recipe. What do? Immediately I go to YouTube. Then I search for rendang tok or something like that. I look at the recipe and I learn. Then I try. That is also learning. That is informal learning. Okay, so here basically, if you look into the definition, formal learning refers to learning that occurs in an organized and structured environment, usually intended. An assessment of learning leads to a certain award on a formal qualification or certification, SPM, and so on. Informal learning refers to the knowledge and skills required by the applicant based on his or her self-effort. It is usually incidental or unintentional. The rendang example, the photography example over there, that is informal learning. All right. Sources of learning are and life experience as well as other activities such as reading, community work, hobbies, etc. All right. Then, of course, we have non-formal learning, refers to learning that is intentional, which may be conducted in a structured and organized environment. This form of learning may not necessarily lead to a formal certification, your MOOCs and so on. So these are the three types of learning. So if offhand I need to ask you a very simple question. A student who has completed a diploma in business from a recognized institution and that diploma is awarded or is under the category of the Malaysian's MQF level 4 with a minimum of 90 credits. Now, this student, formal learning, comes to our institution and wants to do a degree, okay, in business. What happens then? Can we give the student any recognition of the credits that this person has attained? If yes, how much? If no, why? Canada, put in the comments. Yes or no? Boleh ke tak? Diploma ada? Nobody. Come on, guys. Oh, student with a diploma in business, full accredited program from another institution, coming over to do a degree in business in UOW, Malaysia. Can get credit transfer.
One of them says formal learning is easy to prove.
Yes. So Canada.
Yes.
Yes. How many credit? Berapa?
No, as a degree needs to build up of credits. Some of them say can, but they do not know how much.
Okay. Can. Maximum of 30%. Alright, the regulation is 30%. Diploma to degree is 30% maximum. So if the degree is 120 credits, the student can apply for a maximum of 36 credits. Can apply to a maximum of, doesn't mean they will get 36 credits. So, formal senang Betul, formal senang. Memang sangat senang. This is what we have been practicing all the way. Alright, in all the institutions. It's very, very straightforward. Okay? Now, yeah.
Please. Johan asks, degree to degree also limited to 30%.
Degree to degree, no, different. It's not only 30%, you could give more. That one has a different regulation. That is called, the question is vertical and horizontal credit transfer. Vertical credit transfer is from one level to the other. Horizontal credit transfer is within the same program. It means, horizontal means tailors do diploma, 2-year diploma. Student already finished 4 semesters, more than 50%, for example. Then suddenly transfer to Penang. Student transfer to Penang. Also a hotel school in Penang in UOW. Student come over with transcript. Then the student asks, can I join you all? You can join. What is my credit transfer? That is called horizontal. Horizontal, guys, please read our handbook. There is a certain guide. That means student must do a minimum of, example, 1 semester, depending on level, or even a year, depending on the level that the student is coming in. So that is horizontal. Vertical, 30%. Okay? So that is formal learning. So now, today, we are going to look at the informal and the non-formal learning component of it. All right? Now, in APEL, the APEL in Malaysia is underpinned by the following core principles. Here, we're going to look at certain core principles in Malaysia. Prior experiential learning should be recognized regardless of how and when it is obtained, provided it is related to learning or a form of competency acquisition. These rules are Malaysian rules, not mine. So the recognition of this, of whatever a student has, must be there, regardless on how they attain it, but it must be of that similar discipline. Okay? Assessment will be based on authentic, flexible, current, and reliable evidence. Evidencing, as I stressed earlier on. Evidence is critical. Okay? Nobody can say, I know, by just saying it. You need to prove that you know. Assessment will be conducted by practitioners, experts in subject or related field. For example, if I am joining a program and on interest, I've been doing photography for many, many years, and the program has a course called Intro to Photography. I'm applying for exemption, credit transfer, I'm applying for credit transfer. Then, who is to evaluate me must be a person of the similar expertise, person who knows photography. It cannot be a person who is not in that discipline or field. The method of assessment will be tailored to the level and experience of the learner, thus providing an opportunity for learners to demonstrate their acquired competency. If I am applying for a level 4 and there's another individual applying for a level 6, then it's going to be different. Level 6 is degree level, expectations are different compared to a level 4. Okay, so this is where it comes in. You are then evaluated based on a particular level that you need to demonstrate your competency. Decision on APEL assessment should be transparent and subject to appeal and review, of course. It's very transparent. Students will know whether they attain or not. Information and support services will be actively publicized, taking into account the diversity of the student. When we publicize about APEL, as you can see, we publicize in numerous languages. It's not only English. Why? One key element of APEL is allowing for lifelong learners, not only for individuals who understand English. All right, it's open to all. Okay, so sometimes if we only publicize or advertise in English, then it could be in a way impacting individuals who maybe are not exposed to that medium of media. So we also have it in Chinese, in Malay, and so on and so on. Quality assurance mechanisms should be clear and transparent. Yes, the whole process of APEL itself is similar to getting a PA or FA for a new program. It is the same. Recently, over here at UG, we had our renewal of license, and the renewal of license required a 2-day visit by MQA, similar to an FA visit. Guys, similar to an FA visit. Checking files, checking evidence, speaking to students, speaking to lecturers and facilitators, and so on. So this is what it is, the core principles of it. Okay, so in this part over here, I'll just summarize it. Systematic approach that involves the identification, documentation, and assessment of experiential learning to determine the extent to which individual has achieved the desired learning outcome. Okay, so basically what covers over here is similar to what I have said earlier on. What APEL is, how is it done, how is it being evaluated, and who is it open for. So in a nutshell, the APEL encapsulates the range of activities and approaches used formally to acknowledge and establish publicly that some reasonable and significant element of learning has taken place. So the whole APEL process is to find the evidence that a person has said that I know what this is all about. I know that this is required, and I can prove to you that I have already achieved it. Okay? So, what are the types of APEL are there? We have APEL A. A stands for assess. A stands for assess. Then there is a subset of A, is called M. Access through micro-credentials. Okay? Then we have APEL C, credit transfer, and we have APEL Q, qualifications. All right? Now, let me explain this, and this is the part where it becomes a little bit more important. A, access. In Malaysia, access to a formal qualification is very clear. Okay, listen up. For you to enter into a diploma program, you need to have SPM, 3 credits, with a pass in Bahasa, Malaysia, and Sejarah. For example, that is very fixed. So that is access. Without that, you cannot do it. To enter a degree program, you need to have at least a diploma. You need to have a foundation or SEPM. Just to say, there are many more. I'm just giving you that example over there. Very clear. We all know that it has already been indoctrinated into our mind because we do counseling. So that is for access. If I have SPM, my highest level of qualification, and I want to do a degree, cannot. Immediately cannot. Very simple. You go and do counseling, that guy says, I'm very sorry, you cannot join because Malaysia entry requirements, this, that, and so on. Okay? So there is this thing called APEL A. I can take APEL A, okay? And if I pass APEL A for that level, it allows me to join that particular level of entry. I'll give you an example. I am only an SPM holder. I attained my SPM 10 years ago. I was then working in an accounting firm as an assistant, blah, 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 and so on. I was working. So now I am 28 years old with only an SPM. I want to do my degree. Okay, 28 years old. Okay, so what can I do? I can do APEL A. Where do? I go to the NQA website, I check. Apply for APEL A, there are requirements. I will touch on a little bit over there. Requirements. If I need that, I pay money, I do the test, I send my portfolio, blah, blah, blah. When habis, they give me a CJ. That cert will say that this is to certify, this is to identify, this is to state that Gabriel now has achieved APEL A for tahap 6. Tahap 6. Tahap 6 is degree, right? I take that, I go to Taylor, Sunway, UOW, whatever, I join. So when I join, say I want to do degree, then they will say, show me your cert. I will take my SPM cert. Then the guy will say, tak boleh masuk Mr. Lau, you need SPM. I take my APEL cert. My APEL cert shows tahap 6. I can join. That is a legal document to say that I can join. Understand, huh? So it's called APEL A. Similar, under APEL A, the subset M, for those who do micro-credential. I won't touch so much here because we don't do. Over these two, we don't do. We cannot do. Kita tak ada lesen untuk buat APEL A dan M. Bukan, tak boleh. Okay, so where? Ask the student to go and check online. Where online? APEL website under MQA. That is the best. Understand? Now, you may say, Gabe, in Penang, this institution, WOU, Wawasan Open University, also do FLA. Memang they have applied for an FLA status center, and they are an FLA status center. All right. So different institutions can apply. We did not. We did not do FLA. Cost very high. All right. Okay. So we did not. Okay. However, majority of the inquiries that you will get will be for FLA. A lot of students will ask about FLA because the main problem with a lot of students is not having the minimum entry requirements to join a program. Understand? Huh? Understand? Huh? Any questions? Unmute yourself and ask.
So Gabriel asked a question.
Okay.
Can a candidate intend to use a combination of APELs like Q and C and A when applying to join a formal program like the PB?
Once I explain this, you will get it clearer. So APEL A, now you understand that is to enter. So you only do one. Okay. APEL C is for credit transfer. C is for credit. We are an APEL C center. It means the student is already in our program. But they want to apply for credit transfer for one particular course. Take for example, I joined a media degree program in UOW. My highest level of qualification is a level 7. Now, for my own interest, I joined a bachelor in media. I like to learn my own problem, so I learn. And in that media program, in semester 1, there is introduction to photography. Okay? I must pay, I must join the class. But I have always enjoyed photography for 20 years. I got my camera, I got my own things I do and so on. I got my interest. I memang suka photography. So I've been doing it for many, many years already. Okay? So I look at the course, Intro to Photography. How to hold a camera. Lesson 1. Lesson 2, the difference between shutter speed and aperture. Ini semua, all of this I know already. I know because based on my own interest, I know all of this already. So what I do is, I go and see my lecturer. Mr. Lu is the head of the communication over here. This subject, I think I already know everything over here already. Because we are an APEL C center, Mr. Lu can tell the student, Gabriel, you go to the APEL center, talk to them about it. They will explain to you what APEL C is. You can apply for it. You can do assessment of it. If you pass, you will get credit transfer. Dengar? Credit transfer. So I go through the process APEL C, I apply, I do the assessment, everything. Then I get credit transfer. Now, students, ladies and gentlemen, credit transfer is different from exemption. Credit transfer means the credit automatically is transferred, no need to pick up additional credit. Exemption is you no need to do the subject, but the credit, you still need to find that credit. Understand the terminology, that's where the difference comes in. So I get credit transfer. So I pass my APEL. Once I pass already, I take my APEL C for introduction to photography. I go back to my admin in my school. See, I passed APEL C for this particular course. Automatically, the school will do the similar process of credit transfer. You know that form? What course credit transfer. So once credit transfer is done, the subject, I don't need to do that. I don't need to go for class. I don't need to pay for that subject. Credit transfer that. Now, APEL C got cost. Later we talk about that cost, but I don't need to go. Okay? Now, just picture this. A person who has experience, they are able to do APEL C for a maximum of 30 credits. 30%, not 30 credits, 30%. Okay? Now, so that is APEL C. APEL Q is the most recent. Q stands for qualification. Now, this is where it becomes interesting. If, let's picture this, Tony Fernandez, I'm Tony Fernandez, the owner of AirAsia, right? My highest qualification, let's say, diploma, okay? But I run my own company, I do hiring, I do this, I do that, and so on. I go to an institution, let's say tailors to APEL Q. And for their MBA program, they got APEL Q. I go there and apply. I would like to apply for APEL Q qualification for the MBA, Masters in Business Administration in tailors. So tailor said, Dato' Tony, Tan Sri or whatever now, okay, can. Okay, so he goes through a process. That process is very stringent. Why? He needs to justify he achieved PLO, all the PLO, the program learning outcome of the masters. So the process of Q, based on my reading, is very stringent. Not only need to write report, they need to speak to his staff, they need to speak to his subordinates, they need to speak to the person's superior. But for Tony Fernandez, maybe he got no superior. He is the big boss, so maybe he subordinates everything. Then the assessors need to visit the workplace and so on to ascertain that he has achieved the PLO of the program. This one only CLO, course, one course, photography. This one PLO. And if for many of you academicians, you will know that PLO is so encompassing, it covers everything, program learning outcome. We are looking at the 11 subclusters or the 5 clusters. I do not you. If after the process, he's able to justify that he has achieved, then the institution can award the qualification. I hereby award the MBA to Mr. Tony Fernandez. Betul? And the value of that award is the same as how a student will get if they go through the normal formal process. That is qualification. Do we have it here? No, we don't have. No, we don't have. We are only an APEL C center. Okay? Now, the reason why it's important for us to understand is because we are able to advise our students. Over the past years, I have numerous times students coming here because advice. Engineering school in UG. All right? They have students who are already working, part-time students studying, then also working. All right? Engineers already doing their technicians, getting their degree. So they say, I've done this basic thing. Then they come and apply for FLC. No guarantee you get, no. Example, I can say, okay, let's say in culinary, I can say, I have worked 10 years in a 5-star restaurant in the kitchen. I worked 10 years already. I want to apply for Hot Kitchen 1 credit transfer. Wow, 10 years. But in that 10 years, what do? Only peel potato. Cannot, because Hot Kitchen 1 as the course, the CLO is not only peel potato. There are many things. I need to make sure I can justify or prove that I achieve the CLOs for that particular course. Understand? So no guarantee. Apply doesn't mean guarantee get. Go through assessment. Okay? The example I gave you about photography, me joining the bachelor, I think I am so good in photography because I've been doing it for 20 years. Then I am assessed by Mr. Lu. After the assessment, he may turn around and tell me, Gabriel, I'm sorry you failed your APEL C for Introduction to Photography because you do not meet these CL goals. You see, assumption of knowledge, reality not, because I don't need. Okay, it is all based on the course learning outcome. Okay, so to answer the question by Javier. Can we mix all? No need. If you want to enter a program, you don't even look at this. You just look at this FLA to enter a program. What are the requirements to enter? Later we will say. I will explain to you a little bit here. All right? Okay. Now, so UOW Malaysia is an FLC center only. So who are the center coordinators? Yes, numerous hats that I wear. I'm the center coordinator with Hazim over there. Yeah.
Okay. So, back to you. You mentioned that UOW is an APEL center. Does it mean that credit transfer is the only type of APEL we can provide?
Yes. Credit transfer is the only type of APEL we can do. We are not an FLA, we are not an FLM, we are not an FLQ. FLA, if any student come at
He said, I think this time just answered.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to explain a little bit more detail about, even though we are not AA, I'm going to explain a little bit because as I said, 90% of your queries, your questions, all ask FLA. Okay. So background of FLA, I don't want to go into so much detail, because it's history. So what we are looking at here is 2010, the policy came out and it started in 2011, 2013 and so on. Whereas FLC, us, only started in 2015. And for us as an institution, we only became an FLC institution in 2018. 2019, somewhere there. That's why we just did our renewal 5 years. All right. Okay. So this is history lah. So policy. Now FLA. So this is important because most of the time you are being asked this question. Even though we are not a center, I will explain to you a little bit. FLA is applicable to local and international applicants who do not meet the regular entry requirements imposed by academic programs at any NQF level. Local and international. I want to say all. Easier to use the word all. But I needed to extract word from word APEL policy. It's a policy now. So they want to be clear. Everybody can. Because the center evaluate. Not us, center evaluate. Person from international student from China don't have enough qualification, they can apply. We cannot do. Go to NQA website, let them look at it on their own over there. Applicant applying for entry via FLA must meet the minimum age requirements stipulated. I will show you. Applicants must fulfill the minimum formal qualifications stipulated for the master's and doctoral level. Applicants applying for entry via FLA must have prior experiential learning. Of course, must have prior experiential learning. Okay, so how does it work? I'll show you. Program at NQF level 8. Level 8 is doctorate by coursework, mixed mode or full research base. Doctorate. PhD lah. PhD level. PhD level 10. At least 35 years of age in the year of application. Tahun 35. My friend Ali here cannot apply. He's too young. He's only 21 years old. Okay. Possess at least a bachelor's degree. Normally in Malaysia, entry requirement for PhD from level 8 is a level 7. Level 7 is master. But going through FLA, bachelor degree is okay. Bachelor degree is 6, level 6. Or equivalent qualification, higher qualification, postgraduate certificate, diploma also can. They apply now, then they will evaluate. Some people ask, sir, ACCA can or not? Can. ACCA so much a degree mah. Okay. Possess at least 5 years of relevant work experience after completion of the bachelor's degree program. Finish bachelor degree, 5 years. Pass FLA assessment for doctorate level. So, must meet this lah. For me, let's say I only got degree. I've been working for 20 over years. I am more than 35 years old. I possess a bachelor degree. Let's say my highest degree. I got more than 5 years experience. I did my degree in 97, 98. So I got already 25, 26 years after bachelor degree, no problem. Then I go and do the FLA assessment. I go to NQA, I apply, and NQA said, Mr. Lau, for your assessment, you go to this center. Okay, let's say UPM. So I go UPM, I pass. Once I pass, I can do my PhD. I can do my doctorate. Okay. So that is level 8. Level 7, master's degree. Master's degree is tahap 7. At least 30 years old. Most popular in the past 5 years is this. People always asking about this. A lot of the students only got diploma, they want to do masters. Why? I'm already senior manager in hotel. I'm already front office manager in hotel. So, but I only got my diploma last time. So many of my ex-students have actually seen me. For those of you who do not know, I used to be in a hotel school, used to teach hotel students, and many of them come and see me. Sir, remember me? Yes, I got diploma to do masters now. How can I? Then I recommend them this one. This is an option for you. If don't do APEL, they must do degree first. Working people ask them to do degree, guys. Banyak susah. Even though they get the maximum credit transfer of 50%, also difficult. Because when you do your degree, when you work part-time, when you work and you study part-time, you can do half hours. Half hours means normally one semester, 16 hours you study, credit hours, you can do 8. So even though for full-time student, 3 tahun, you may need 5 years. Okay, so very difficult. So a lot of them ask this. So at least 30 years of age, possess at least STPM diploma. See? Relevant work experience and pass APEL for master's degree. Alright? Okay. Bachelor's degree, tahap 6, at least 21 years of age, relevant work experience and APEL A. Okay? And it goes on. Diploma, 20 years, relevant experience APEL A. Some of you may ask, Gabe, diploma is only SPM. Takkan people tak ada SPM? Let me tell you, my friend, a lot of people don't do SPM. A lot of people, 14 years old, 15 years old, go and work. They work already, then they never thought of studying. Now they want to study. So they may say, boss, can I do diploma? I want to do your diploma, but they got no SPM. Go through APEL A. And of course, certificate and so on. Any questions so far on this? Clear. Very straightforward. So as I said, a lot of your students, they come in, they're working people, they want to do masters already. Why? The job requires, so make sure they meet this. Okay? So, what? So let's say you're applying for APEL A, and is this the required competencies for APEL A assessment are guided by the MTF clusters of learning. Now guys, for the academic stuff, this is second nature to you. These are the 5 clusters. So when a student is applying to do masters for APEL A, I'm doing APEL A to enter into masters, the MQA will assess them whether they are at that level to do masters. No guarantee. If your level is not master's level, MQA will tell you, sorry sir, you don't pass APEL A because you don't need that yet. So it's not us, nothing to do with UOW Malaysia. MQA assess, because we don't assess MQA. So basically, APEL A assessments conducted by the MQA aims to ensure the applicant will have the following competency level. Same cluster, different level. Want to enter to degree, same thing, but at different level. Master, different level. So they are assessing. Okay. So how do they assess? So you may ask, how do they assess my 5 clusters? Macam ini lah. So they assess through 1, 2, 3 items at different levels. Aptitude test, portfolio, and interview. Okay, this is the breakdown. So you see, if I am applying for a diploma SPM, remember I give you that example, 14 years old, I go and work. After I go and work already, I have no chance to study now, I want to do diploma, I go and do APEL A, then it is aptitude test. There is no portfolio and interview when you are applying for diploma. No need. MQA say tak payah lah. That level, you do your aptitude test here already. Now, what is aptitude test? Aptitude test is general paper lah, macam tu lah. So they ask you things about Malaysia, how many states? Example, I am quoting verbatim from a colleague of mine who actually did this. They give you simple mathematics question. They give you Bahasa Malaysia. They give you moral questions. Certain questions, all right? So this is what an aptitude test is. It is not discipline related. They don't ask you discipline related like engineering question. No, it's aptitude. What is your aptitude? Okay. If you are going to do a bachelor, you're applying for T6, then 30% aptitude test, 70% portfolio. You need to complete a portfolio. This is my work experience, my interest, my what I like to do, photography, do everything inside that. Okay. If you are doing masters, postgraduate, you can see coursework, mixed mode, full research, then the breakdown. Then masters aptitude test tak ada. For coursework, what? For full research, don't have. But they have portfolio and interview. So you can see it first. For doctorate, full research, portfolio, research intention. See, you see, for doctorate, got 30% research intention. Apa ni? Macam sounds so difficult. It is proposal, research proposal, and defense. You see, proposal and defense. So you need to tell MQA, you need to present, I want to do my PhD. This is my proposal, apa aku nak research. And you need to defend your proposal. 30%. Okay, that is how it is. This is the assessment. Can change, cannot, MQA. Okay, any questions?
So they ask, but they cannot do it here because we are only at percentage.
You are correct. We are APEL Center. Cannot do here. Cannot. Okay. Now, that is right. It comes in. It comes in here. How to apply? Click here. Now, you cannot click here because this is a slide. But it is MQS. I wanted to show you this. This is an official government site. Official. MQA. APEL A, the best. Always explain to the student. You can do this. How do I do? Go to the government website. Okay? So inside here, once you click your required, they will advise you which center you go, how to do payment, and so on. Okay? Now, how much is it? Why? Because for charge. Not that expensive lah. Okay? Refer to the auto general email received after online apply. Now, we put this statement here because our students told us when they apply. Refer to the auto-generated email received after online. When you are in the web page, the website is application form. You click already. There is going to be an email that comes out, and that email will tell you the actual price. Why? The price changes over time. There was a period, it was like this, then the government reduced. So I'm not saying this is the final rate, it goes up and down. Don't tell the student what the price, tell them to click on the website, the web page will tell you. This is government, they change, they don't tell us. So if we advise the student, degree 250, then they go and apply, sir, mana 250, sekarang sudah 300. Not nice lah. So let's tell them this was then. I just wanted to show you that the price increases as the level increases. Masters was 370, certificate, and so on. Okay, during the MCO, the government reduced price 50%. 50%. They want to encourage people to apply for APEL and do their study because they were at home. But they forgot that during that time, people were more worried about survival. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So what does the portfolio part entail?
What, as I said, I'm telling you based on what my colleague has told me because she applied. Portfolio demonstrates your achievement. So, for example, if I want to say that I was a sous chef means a departmental chef in the hotel, then I need to, in my portfolio, shows what I have done. These are the things that I've done. I have managed people, I have disciplined people. This is a letter from my boss to say that I am already at a certain level and so on. This portfolio. Okay?
So the other one is, Gabriel, if any candidate approach us about that area, APEL A, we just refer them to go to the online website. Right?
You are correct. Any students who come and approach you, they may say, ma'am, I now got SPN, I want to do degree, can or not? You say, in Malaysia, you are allowed to through APEL A. However, UOW is not an APEL A center. Please go to the official MQA website under APEL. Go through the official MQA website of APEL. Okay, that is important.
Right. So the question is, does the APEL qualification can be centered by any study, especially if the candidate want to pursue the course at other institution?
Good question. That is why I shall say APEL A, certain institutions attain a license that only allows the student to attain APEL A from the institution to continue study in their own institution. Example, if I'm using Taylor's as an example, so take note, this is not this example. Taylor's is an APEL A center. However, their license only allows APEL A attained from Taylor's for students to continue in APEL A, to continue studying with Taylor's. There are some institutions that the APEL A they attain is open to any institution. Majority of institutions are what you call general APEL A, any institution. That is why, as I said, best go to MQA website. If they go through MQA, everything is explained there with the institution. Why? Institution list changes. Some institution lesen ditarik balik by the government. Tarik balik, why they were not doing the right thing. Pull back. Because for the business everybody APEL A, give. Then when the government do audit, ini sudah tak ada betul. Tarik balik. So some institution just join, so the list changes. But MQA itself is the main center. My colleague did it in MQA.
And then, so I just said that we have a few students for APEL done by the WOU.
Wawasan Open University. Is that what's the question?
She just said that we have a few students for APEL done by the
Done in WOU. Yes. It could. So that cert is very important. It clearly states what is it that the person is attaining. Okay. Good. Okay. Now, all information are subject to changes. If we put a caveat here, even in my presentation, changes. Comprehensive details can be found at the official website. Please contact MQA for the latest information. Phone number, you can write to them. Okay. We as an institution, when students come and approach us, we don't say we are not, thank you very much, bye-bye. We advise them, go to MQA website. So it shows our concern and also service rendered to the student, even though we are not the center. Following, guys? Following? Good. I'll give you 5 minutes. Now it's 10:05. We will come back at 10:10. Okay? 10:10. Sharp. Okay, I'm just going to run to my office to get water. Thirsty already. All right. Leave it. Aku dah. Sorry. Running low.
Oh, yeah.
Kita tahan.
Yeah. What not this big?
That's nice. What do you start? Hello guys. It's 10:10. And so you guys are back, I hope. Yeah. And Ali, in the future, I think we should do it the way that I can see it.
What is first?
Let's think about it. Let's think about it. All right, now we're going to talk about FLC. Okay, now we're going to talk about what our organization can do. Okay, over here as an FLC center. So when we look at FLC, at question.
Yeah. Oh, just answer. Yeah. So, Gabriel, one more thing to clarify, please. Exemption versus credit transfer.
Exemption versus credit transfer is a terminology used in all institutions, not only FLC. Yeah, dia macam ni. Credit transfer means if a student attains credit transfer for a particular course, That means the student do not need to do the course and the credit is accepted in the program. That means taken over. Example, student from diploma going to degree, they get credit transfer in Malaysian law, maximum of 50%. 30 C's and above, 20, 30 B's and above, 20 C's and above, or something like that. Okay, so that is not credit transfer. So student will do the program shorter, the duration is shorter. Exemption means a person may be exempted from doing the course, but the credit, they still need to attain that credit. How do they attain? It could be from another program, another course that they need to do. Okay, so certain institution is like this. I know, let's say marketing, for example, I get exemption from marketing. So the institution says, yes, Mr. Lau, you are good at this. You are exempted from marketing, but that credit, that 4 credits is still there. You can do any elective subject, anything you want to do. You want to do English, literature, ke boleh, ke whatever. Certain institutions are like that. Right? So that is called exemption. It is important for us to understand the terminology correctly. So in Malaysian's context, what we use is credit transfer. If you are reading literature from another country, another institution, sometimes they use the word exemption and credit transfer interchangeably. Like in Malaysia, we use the word course over the word subject. Correct, right? We use the word course. That's why we got CLO, course. Whereas over in Australia, they call it subject. And the thing that we use as course here for them is program. So we have program, for them they call it the course. What course are you doing? Oh, I'm doing a bachelor in business. Whereas for us in Malaysia, what program are you doing? I'm doing a bachelor in business. These are called terminologies, and these are called different jargons that we use. And the problem is, by not standardizing these terms, it becomes confusing. Okay. Any other question, Ali? Okay. So now we are going to look at FLC. FLC, who is for? Okay, it's for who? Who is it for? Students who enter through APEL or conventional route. Any student, anybody that enters into our program can apply for FLC. So what we do here is apply for credit transfer. How do we do it? So who implements FLC? Higher education providers approved by MQA. So UOW Malaysia is a higher education provider. We have gone through the process and we are approved by MQA as an FLC center. Only we can do. Another institution who is not an FLC center cannot do. What is the assessment principle for FLC? What is an assessment principle? Very simple. Student competency versus CLO. Student competency versus CLO. So if I say I am good in photography, I'm applying credit transfer for intro to photography, my competency must match the CLO of the course. Okay? Now, maximum, what is the maximum that you can get? 30%. So degree, 120 credits. FLC, you can apply maximum of 36 credits. Maximum. So far, none of our students do that. All right, none. Okay, now before I go on, let me give you one example. Last convocation, some of you may know, over in UG, there was this gentleman called Prem. Prem is a DJ, a very popular DJ in your Mix FM, Hits FM. This guy, very popular everywhere. He joined our degree program in communication. So his experience in communication, running events and so on is a lot, so much. Okay, so when he joined the program, he applied for APEL for certain subject, certain courses. Sorry, certain courses. Certain courses he don't have experience on, he need to do. So he do assignment with the students and so on. But like for example, event organization, he applied and he got, because he went through the process of interview, test, and so on. Because he got experience, so he applied. And did he get maximum 30%? Very close. I think out of like 36 credits, he got, if I'm not wrong, 33 or 34, somewhere there, lebih kurang, 32 or something like that, because he could achieve quite a lot. So even this guy, who is a major, popular, very well experienced individual, tak dapat maximum also. That's what I'm trying to say. Other cases, some of my other cases, some people apply, maybe they only apply for 2 courses, 8 credits. 8 credits only, that's what it is. Because they only can justify competency for their 2 courses. Understand, huh? Okay, so maximum is 30%, but it doesn't mean everybody must reach this maximum. So for students, now credit transfer for formal learning is 50%. Currently, that is our Malaysian law. C grade and above 30%, B grade and above is 20%. And APEL C for the non-formal and formal is 30%. 50 plus 30 is 80. No. It doesn't mean a student can get 80% credit transfer. That is too much. The law, the regulation states for a student, formal plus non-formal and informal learning, maximum 60%. Even though in its individual parts, the total is 80, but the regulation states only 60%. So if you take 120 credits, all right, as the degree, if a student really maximizes 60%, he or she still needs to do 48 credits. Betul lah, 48. 48 is 40% out of 120. So still needs to do 48 credits. How long will that 48 credits be on a part-time basis, let's say, or maybe it's a full-time basis? More than a year, definitely more than a year. All right, definitely more than a year. All right, or in a way lah, okay. So or 1 year if everything falls in place, because Malaysian regulation is 50 tidak melebihi 50 kredit 1 tahun. So maybe, in a way. So maximum. Understand this, guys? So this is credit transfer over here. All right. So Taylor, so with the formal 50% and so on. Now, some of you may ask, Gabe, but my school we don't do 50% lah. We still practice for, yes, it's up to your school. Some school, I know hotel school, they do maximum of 50. But some engineering school, maybe not. They will say, kita maximum 30 sahaja lah. So it falls back to the institutional regulation. Institution, how they want to do. But Malaysian government say maximum for formal is 50%. Already say, no problem. All right. However, it comes down to the individual institution. We can also actually tell our student, you're from Taylor's, you come to UOW, you want to do your degree, no credit transfer, 0. You can, it's up to you, but the student won't come, you lose business. Definitely, it's not a logical business decision, okay? But you can. So this is how it is. Any questions here?
So in other words, it means that with credit transfer, the institution said yes, we accept that you know about this subject and no need to pay. Exception is we accept you know the subject but still need to pay, or by picking up another subject.
I don't understand, sorry, say again.
Okay. In other words, it means that with credit transfer, the institution said yes. So we accept that you know about this subject and no need to pay. And then say exception is we accept you know the subject but still need to pay by picking up another subject.
Exemption, okay. The question is credit transfer exemption. Exemption is, yes, we recognize that you know about this. You need to take another course, or the person used the word subject, some people use the word subject loosely. You need to take another subject to replace that 4 credits that you still owe. That is exemption. Credit transfer is you transfer the total credit. Yes, I recognize the level that you have achieved. And by doing so, I recognize it. I bring that credit, 3 or 4, over to this new program that you're doing, so that you do not need to do another course and so on. Students that come in from formal learning. Now, this is open. This is nothing to do with APEL. This is general thought. All right. This is general discussion. Nothing to do with APEL. Students that come in from diploma to go to degree is credit transfer. Right. You don't say, student, I give you exemption for 30%, but you still need to do 120 credits, but other courses or subject. No, man. You tell them, wow, you come from tailors. I check, and out of the 120 credits, now only you do 90 credits, correct? You only do 90. So the student, that is called credit transfer. The reason why this is explained clearly in APEL is because different institution in Malaysia or the world uses the term differently or applies it. In UOW Malaysia, we hardly, I don't want to say totally no, because some of you could turn around and say, but we did it before 25 years ago. Exemption, we don't do. We don't do exemption. Ours is credit transfer. We don't tell the student, okay, I recognize your marketing, but you need to pick up another subject. We don't do that. Ours is recognized, you don't. Ours is credit transfer style. Okay? But it's not for all institutions. Let me tell you that. Different institutions got different one. Okay? Any other question? Clear. Good. All right. So that is CT over there. Now, implementation quality of credit of FLC. So there are a few things we're going to look at. General policy, award of credit, implementation process. So FLC, Malaysian international students, registered higher education provider, regardless of mode of entry. So FLC is open for everybody. Everybody that comes into the institution already accepted into the institution. Accepted in already. I'm doing a degree program, then I apply for it. Prior experiential learning for the purpose of credit award. So this is what the transnational FLC is. All areas and levels of MQF. All areas and levels of MQF. For postgraduate programs, limited to only courses in programs conducted by a coursework and mixed mode. Take note. No FYP or dissertation is allowed for FLC. Just picture this. A student who is doing your PhD. All right? PhD is basically one big report, right? And defense. So, oh, I know already this one. I want to apply for FLC. Then don't need to study nothing already Cannot. All right. It is only open for coursework and mixed mode courses. Mixed mode is doctorate programs. Let's say a doctorate in so and so. Under that particular program itself, it is divided into certain courses which are credit bearing, and then your research. That's called mixed mode. Got two. All right. So in that context, the research part there cannot, but the first part can. You can apply for the first part. So let's say in your doctorate program, 24 credits is 6 courses, and the courses are like example, marketing, human resources, so on and so on. You are a human resource manager for 30 years. So you say, I want to apply for that human resource course. Can that? That one can. Understand? So the research, the dissertation cannot. Dissertation cannot. Okay? So we higher education providers intending to implement FLC, approval from MQA and comply to FLC policy. So we got approval from MQA already, definitely. That's why we are now a center until 2019. 2019. So then we just renewed. All right, and we need to follow the policy clearly. Now, programs approved by ministry and obtain at least a PA from MQA. Some of you may ask, which programs can apply for FLC? For us in UOW Malaysia, UOW University here, all right, in Malaysia, or programs approved by ministry and obtain at least a PA. So all our programs got at least PA, provisional accreditation. So all our programs, all right. Now, this is where it needs to be very clear. Over here, we have 3 institutions. University of Wollongong, Malaysia, UOW Malaysia KBU College, and UOW Malaysia College. You all know, right? There are 3 institutions here. Then, of course, we have in Penang, UOW Malaysia KBU University College. So, under the umbrella of UOW Malaysia, there are 4 institutions, 3 here and 1 in Penang. Take note, the license that we attain for APEL is only for University of Wollongong, Malaysia. The one that Prof. Yu is the Vice Chancellor. My college that I'm the principal is not under APEL C. Take note, the one that Prof. Fon is running the nursing school is not under APEL. We don't have APEL C center here, nor do we have it in Penang. Any questions? Because we all of us see, well, we are an umbrella, man. We are an umbrella of 4 institutions. Yes, but the license APEL C center only for 1 institution. It's by institution. Ministry looks at us as 4 institutions. But when we run our own business, we look like we are 1. Understand? So it is only for programs under University of Wollongong, Malaysia, the one that Prof. Yu is the Vice Chancellor. Question. So, example, so let's say a nursing student, I was doing whatever in a hospital now, I want to do my diploma, I want to apply FLC, cannot. Because nursing school under the UOW Malaysia College do not have an FLC center. Okay. Now, credit transfer without grade and not credit exemption. So this is the words of MQA. So FLC is credit transfer, as what I said earlier on, and not credit exemption. So they have to put it in here also, because many institutions also get confused. So the terms are very clear. Courses that form part of the program structure under professional bodies may be considered for FLC, subject to acceptance by relevant professional bodies. We need to get approval. Example. Here, our engineering school is governed by Engineering Board of Malaysia. You know, Engineering Board. So, if engineering school wants to implement FLC or allows for or they want to do FLC, because Engineering Board governs their program, they need to get approval from Engineering Board. Can this student apply for FLC for this subject? Engineering Board may say, we allow, but we want to be part of the assessor. You see, but they may also say, no, we don't allow. It's up to them, because the Engineering Board is a body that governs. Which other discipline got this kind of board? Basically, Engineering Board, nursing also very strong on Nursing Board. So they need to give the green light before. Now, other than that, no issue. All right. For other schools, like example, we are talking about let's say hospitality school. There is no board. Then you all can decide. No problem. No problem. Okay. Communication school, no problem. But those that has a governing body or board, you need their green light. Relevant professional bodies. Okay. Award of credit to FLC cannot be transferred automatically to another program. This. I joined Bachelor in Business and Accounting. When I joined, study 1 year, I apply for 2 courses for FLC, I pass. I get credit transfer. Halfway through the program, I say, I don't want to do Bachelor in Business and Accounting. I want to do Bachelor in Hotel and Tourism now. So I transfer, no problem, man. I transfer from one program and go to the other program. The 2 courses that I got for APEL does not follow me. Does not follow me. No guarantee. Unless the course, minimum 80% of the algos are similar. The course that I apply for APEL in business is same as the course over in hotel school, similarity of 80%. Maybe you are lucky, you can. It could be, because human resources in business, human resources in hotel can be quite similar. But other than that, if it's something to do with specific accounting elements, management accounting, then nothing. But then you start back in hotel school with no bring over for APEL credit transfer. Okay, understand? So no guarantee on transferring courses. Programs. Because some students do, man. They start off from one program, then they transfer to another program. Award of credit to FLC equivalent to the credit value of the course applied for. So award of partial credit is not allowed. This one, you may laugh. Okay, but some people do that. God. Some students, they see the course accounting 4 credit, 4 CLO. 4 credit, 4 CLO, like they say, CLO 1, CLO 2. CLO 1, example, I'm not an accounting person, how to do balance sheet. CLO 2, how to do profit statement. CLO 3, how to do cash flow. CLO 4, whatever. So he comes to you and say, sir, can I apply for CLO 1 and CLO 2? Yeah. I don't want CLO 3 and CLO 4. So the credits that I apply for is 2 credit. Cannot. It's all the whole course. The whole course. So credit awarded, the specific course applied for, no partial credits are allowed. You cannot do partial credits. I just want to apply for, let's say, in hot cooking. Hot cooking got international, got Italian, Spanish, let's say Portuguese and Malaysian. Can I just apply for the Malaysian part? Because I don't want to cook Malaysian food. Cannot. It is a whole thing. It's a yes or no. All or nothing. Okay. Credits awarded for a course is applicable to the specific course applied for. Credits are not automatically applicable to prerequisites. Finance 1, Finance 2. Finance 1 is the prerequisite for Finance 2. Students apply APEL for Finance 2 doesn't mean automatically they will get Finance 1. No. So you may pass APEL C for Finance 2, but Finance 1 you will still need to do. No automatic. You want to get credit transfer for Finance 1, you need to apply. So double application, double 2 assessment, 2 interview or whatever method. Okay. Separate assessment for each course. Credit awarded cannot be granted on a block basis. Finance 1, Finance 2, I apply both. I need to do 2 assessment. I need to do 2 interview. I need to send 2 portfolio, everything 2. You cannot say, sir, can I do 1 exam for both? Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. No. Every application is seen individually. One unit. That's how it is. All courses except project and recitation. Okay? For all courses, everything project, recitation, thesis, all cannot. This one you can mengabaikan this because we don't do executive diploma already. Okay. Now implementation. So complying to us, garis. This is our garis panduan, our standard, transparent, equitable, and evidence-based. Student apply for FLC before registering for the next relevant course. Now this is important. Let's say a student comes to you during counseling, have not signed in yet, have not signed into the program yet. Excuse me. Have not signed into the program. Then they come and tell you, sir, I intend to do your Bachelor in Business program. I understand you are a FLC center. Can you evaluate my FLC first? I want to see how many courses I get credit transfer before I sign up to you. Tak boleh. No such thing. We cannot do for the student before they sign up. Understand? So no such thing. Student come in during counseling. You are an FLC center? Yes, we are. How many credits maximum? 30%. Can I do my assessment first? No, you cannot. You must sign in first. Join the program, then you do. All right? Explain to the student. Never commit to the student, wow, you 10 years in human resource department, wow, you very good, I guarantee you can get FLC for human resources. Jangan. As I said, certain people may be working in the kitchen for 10 years, only peeling potatoes for 10 years. This person may be working in human resource department for 10 years, doing what? Only photocopy. You see? Only photocopy. LO and the course, human resources, is more than just how to do photocopy, legal aspects and so on. So no, never guarantee the student. Don't. Okay? Before registering for the relevant course. Now, so that is number 1. Number 2 is this. Students should apply when they join the program. Let's say I join in my degree, I got my working experience already, I can bring in immediately to apply for APEL. Doesn't mean you do it immediately. If you apply for 5 courses, we will divide it into 3 semesters maybe, or maybe 2 semesters. You do all in one, very stressful, too much work. So we may divide it, but apply early. During the process of the course, sometimes students will improve themselves and they want to apply after that. Also can, no problem. I give you example. Degree is 3 years. Students join us during the 3 years. First 2 years, students have been very hardworking, do their own learning, go and do courses outside of the formal program. Then there is one particular course at the final year that the student says, sir, I think I know radius, I did all my work and so on. I would like to apply for FLC. Can, but not during that semester. They have to apply before the semester or before the course is being offered. Okay, before the course is being offered. MQA do not want this, Student join the program. After that, they go to class already. Then they're lazy. I don't want to go for class. Then I apply for FLC. You see, so it needs to be planned in advance. All right, and students need to understand that this is not guaranteed. So if a student applies, does not meet the requirement, they need to do the course. That is why I must apply earlier. Understand? Okay, because let's say the particular course that the student is applying for is only offered once a year. Only the final cohort is September to December. So if student apply during that semester and they fail FLC, they need to do that course now. And when is it offered? The following year. Student don't graduate until the following year. Because have to wait for that course to be offered. You may say, yeah, all our courses are offered every semester. No. Many courses are not offered every semester. I've seen the list. There are some courses offered once a year only, or maybe certain expertise. That is why it needs to be done before the commencement. Okay? So, yeah.
So, but isn't that case of 10 years working in HR the case of APEL E?
Yeah. Yes, no. 10 years working in HR is also FLC. And now we're talking about APEL A is to enter the program. All right. Now I have 10 years working experience in HR. Now I'm going to run through this back again. Where's the question coming from?
Gabriel.
Javier. Okay, Javier. I'm going to go back all the way here. Yeah. So my 10 years working in HR is here. 10 years working in HR. I got no qualification. After SPM, O levels, I go and join HR. I go join a company, I work in HR. I learn through my boss. I learn this, I learn that. But my qualification is only SPM. My formal is SPM. But during my everyday, I go to work. I learn informally. I also learn non-formally. I take up courses on my own. Then I see what is done. My boss discipline stuff. Informal, I'm learning, I observe. Oh, that is how it's done. Then I ask my boss, hey, boss, this is how it's done. How do you improve that? You learn that? That's informal. I want to learn about beverage. Javier is a beverage lecturer. I will just know, I say, hey, bro, this wine, this viticulture, vinification, what is the difference? So Javier explained to me, yes, viticulture is growing of grapes. Vinification is making the grapes into wine. Informal learning. I'm learning through him, but no cert. And I was learning through him when we were walking to lunch. So even in work, it's the same. Okay? That is right. So the student applied for FLC in Introduction to Human Resources. Why? He worked 10 years already, and he feels or she feels that the CLO, he already know. That is how it is. He feels no guarantee. You need to do assessment. Okay? Okay, I think we were here. All right. Okay. Now, courses awarded with FLC. Once the student attained the FLC already, it will appear in the transcript as credit transfer APEL. Credit transfer. For those of you who are program leaders or you are or what you call the head of your class, you will see if a student comes in from diploma to degree, there is CPA, credit transfer. Now there is a credit transfer APEL. Yeah.
So, again, so all three sources of learning can be accessed in all types of APEL.
Oh, yes. All three courses on learning, all types of APEL, yes. But do not be our only FLC center lah. All right. The other people will do, but all three. That is why APEL, accreditation of prior experiential learning. Wherever you get the learning from, you can recognize. The courses that go through FLC not taken into account in the calculation of GPA or CGPA. Same lah. So it's same as currently all the credit transfer that comes over. We don't calculate your CGPA on that because you cannot calculate. Okay. Credit counted towards the total credit required for graduation, and then we actually give the student a MQS, Malaysian Qualification Statement. We give this MQS document to them. Now, any questions on MQS? Maybe I should touch a little bit on the historical nature of MQS. Now, since it's here, I better explain. MQS is a living cert. Not living, it's living cert. Malaysia government wanted to introduce compulsory. All students, when they leave and they graduate, they are given a living cert. That means it's like when we were in secondary school. Ada the cert, living cert, Gabriel, what interest, sukan, this and that, a living cert lah when they leave. So that was called the MQS. Private institution or all institution from Bantah, gila, you do for every single student one MQS, one living cert. So if every time graduate 100 students, the school need to do 100 living cert, but got template lah, there is a template. But a lot of work lah, needs to be signed by the registrar and so on. So after that, the government say, okay lah, we don't make it compulsory, tetapi digalakkan. The word galakkan means highly advised or encouraged. So under APEL, they make it compulsory. Any student that go through APEL C, even in institution, that's institution, student apply for one APEL C course, one. Out of the 120 credits, 4 credits for FLC, we need to issue an MQS. Not so difficult. There is a template. The only thing headache is our registrar. Registrar every time got document come, they need to sign. Apa ni? This is a MQS. But they know. Another one. Okay. Doing is not difficult. Not FLC center do. Who do? School do. Because school will know man. Ali, this student. What program, what credit, what kind of character, if need be, what. But the document, the facts are very general facts. Okay. Student who fail FLC assessment for the course applied for will have to complete the course through the usual process. I applied for human resources. I failed FLC. Then I do lah. After that, when I do is depending on when is it offered lah. But I will do FLC lah. I will do that particular course, human resources, for example. Okay? So, no guarantee, and this is how it is. Now, we keep records. So, we have our records. We got hard copy and soft copy. A few months ago, when APEL, MQA came and do their audit with us, so they checked the files, they checked the student, and they spoke to our student. So, I gave the example, Prem. He graduated. But they still call him back for interview. They said, oh, Prem, you went through FLC, what do you think about it? This and that. So he explained, it was good. It gives me the experience, the opportunity to get recognition of the things that I've done before. Because for this gentleman example, he didn't have the opportunity to study. Not everybody is blessed to have the opportunity. So now he can study, so recognize my time is less, I pay less, and so on. So this they do interview. All the records we did. We keep the records. So everything. Yeah.
So can candidates appeal or any limit for them to sit for the exam?
I will come into that. Appeal got. So yeah, appeal we will come later. Now, So what is the process? That's the process. So this is the process of FLC. Yeah. So brief process of student application. This is a very brief process, how it works. Pre-application, briefing, advisor, assessment mode. So student who is interested in FLC, what you all will do is this. Your student who's interested in FLC, channel them to the FLC center. Over here is Hazim or me. All right. So we will then brief the student about the process of FLC. All right. So we will brief. After briefing the student may not sign up. They ask for information only. You go to the car showroom doesn't mean you want to buy it. You will buy it immediately, getting information. Okay. We will brief the student on things such as like, we are the FLC center. Your school, the student school will have an advisor. So previously over here in UG, a lot of them were under the communication school. So Encik Zaki, the ADH for communication, was the advisor. So we explained that Encik Zaki is the advisor for course-related questions. Encik Zaki will ask, will give the info. And we will also explain to them the assessment mode. We tell the student, the different types of assessment. These are the assessment that can be given by your school to assess. After student will do application. All right. In that application, student will do a self-assessment. Why am I applying for APEL? I feel that blah, 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 and so on. Haven't got yet now, just apply. This is application. The school will give the question. The school will also mark the student 500 per essay. The school may tell the student, hey, Ali, I'm telling you now, don't waste time. You won't get, because we are the, I'm telling you, the school has prerogative to tell the student, you don't meet. Some students will back, sir, let me try lah. But we are not obliged to say that you can get. We can recommend, we will say, this is how it is, and so on. If the student really insists, then say, okay, fine, we already told you, you don't meet the requirements, CRO, you can try. You want to go, you go ahead. All right? Then they can go through the process. Now, some of you may think, wow, like that, some students really insist. How? No problem. I explain to you. If they really insist, apply, no problem. Because every assessment is not done individually. You get what I mean? That means even a practical exam is done with a moderator. So everything is checked and balanced. It's like students tell you, sir, my exam, I'm not happy with this grade. Then you justify with them, this is the grade that you got. At the end of the day, we remark. Student can hue and cry all the way if check them. If she put 2 + 2 = 5, it is still 2 + 2 = 5. So that is where the moderator is always there. The whole process is similar to how we set our exam paper, the process, and so on. So it's very stringent. It goes through the school assessment board, it goes through institutional assessment board, SATNet, and so on. So I'll go back to this. Students write the self-assessment essay, then advisor recommend. Advisor would say, okay, can or cannot, advise, then you can start applying. Then they will fill in the formal application. Once they fill in the formal application, then the APEL process, then the whole process starts, where the students will now be given a time to do the assessment or to send in a portfolio and interview. So please take note, the whole check and balance part is very stringent before the actual applicant. We do not want students to apply for the sake of applying for fun. All right, there is cost towards it. I will talk about that. There is cost. All right, no, so we actually explain to them. Okay? Then we advise based on best knowledge. Okay. So how much? Application for each subject, 200 ringgit. Or cost, sorry, the cost, 200. Each student pass the APEL assessment for credit transfer process is 500. Okay, so will it be cheaper than your normal cost? Yes, but there's still a charge. And what is the benefit? Shorter time, students no need to go for classes. All right, credit transfer rate, but there is a charge to it. Now, why do we separate? Some students have applied 200, fail, then they want to continue. No need to pay this lah. That's why we don't put it together. It is not guaranteed. You pay through the process. Then after that, if you want to get CP, it's another 500. Okay. Now, how will the student be evaluated? What method? How do you evaluate the student's competency? Two ways: challenge test and or portfolio. You can do challenge test on its own, or you want to do a portfolio, or you do a portfolio on its own. Now, what challenge test? A challenge test is any assessment that the student will need to demonstrate competency in front of you. Like written test, final exam is a challenge test. Oral test of documentation is a challenge test. Product assessment simulation and so on. Portfolio is the student will demonstrate their work over the period of time. I have done this before. I was a creative director of a company. This is my work. And then I justify to you on why I have achieved. With the support of my, how do I support? I show evidence. Evidence, evidence, evidence. Evidence of challenge test is immediate. I can see the evidence, exam paper, practical, and so on. Evidence of portfolio is through interview and also supporting document. If you say that I used to run an event for 10,000 people, that's why I'm very good in organizing event. What evidence? Your evidence can be, I'm telling you, some of our candidates show acceptance contract acceptance by client. They write contract, the acceptance value $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 contract to run event. Those are evidence. Photos, videos, articles, write-ups, all of those are evidence. Letter from your superior. Ali has been a very good staff. He has done all of these events and so on, so on. Sign. Evidence. Okay. So these two methods here will depend on what course the student is applying for. If the student is applying for mathematics, let's say trigonometry, introduction to trigonometry, example, because it's mathematics. Which method? Doing a test method or showing portfolio? What do you think? Test. Okay, very good. Thank you. Test. Mathematics. Test. Students say that they have been working in a hotel pastry kitchen for 20 years. I can do bread very well. What is the best method? Do lah, practical test. So it's called product assessment, practical. You mix lah. After doing already, you assess the product and so on. That is it. Students say that in creative, I have done events. I've done so many events. I've done this and that. This is what I have learned. Not test, maybe not test. Portfolio. What are the work that this person has done? Okay, and justify. Who decide? Not me. Who decide? Not APEL Center. Advisor. The school decide. The school will be the expert to say which method is the best way for assessment. The school. Okay, question? Yeah, understand that? Depending on suitability with course content. Different program, different course, different assessment method. Okay, so basic principles of assessment, senang saja. Student learning, meet requirement, every CRO at least 50%. So, every of our course, kita ada table 4 kan? The table 4, inside that CRO. So, you see the CRO. If got 3 CRO inside there, you need to assess every CRO. And the student must meet at least 50%. If student achieve CRO 1, 98%. CRO 2, 95%. CRO 3, 49%. Fail APEL. Fail. But you may say, yeah, average is 85. Tapi they fail because one of the course learning outcome they did not achieve. You need to achieve all the course learning outcome. All. That is competency. Competency is the achievement of a particular expectation. And the expectation is the learning outcome. Okay? Right? Good. So this is how it is. Okay? So, the process is learner self-assessment. See, here they do a self-assessment exercise, eligible, submit application form, assessment, they do challenge test, portfolio, then graded, then if pass, good, no appeal, they can appeal RM100. It's same, the process is same as student appealing for their exam marks. Then it's endorsed by academic board senate, credit awarded, notification to learner. Simple as that. So when for us, simple. Student already passed already, then the school say, Gabe, we have already gone through, we will go through our school assessment board, senate, then after that we issue the notification or result lah. Ali's name, same notification result under APEL, pass. Then with that, the school will do credit transfer. Okay, school will do credit transfer. Simple, straightforward process. During the thing about FLC is a lot of consultation will take place. Sometimes students, we get a lot of students ask questions a lot. After explaining, some students try. Some students say, maybe not lah, maybe not lah. You know why? Because many of our courses are not offered every semester. So he already calculate. If I do it now, all right, how would it be? When is my next time? You know, and what is the risk? Do I want to continue? The cost involved. I still need to pay 700. If I take the course, I come to class, I can score A, I can push up my CGPA. Many things lah. It's up to the student to decide whether they want to take. Okay. Okay. So this one is the basic explanation, but as I explained to you over here, it is easier to see in a graphic sense. Okay. So one key thing of APEL is evidence. Evidence, evidence, evidence. No student can say, I know human resources because I know human resources. They need to justify it. So how do they justify? Is where the assessment comes in. So this is where it is very, very, very important that the advisor of the student, which is the school, need to advise the student properly. Student, this thing that you're applying for APEL, you are going to sit for an exam. If the student applying for you're going to sit for an exam. It is going to be a 2-hour exam here, and it's going to be, exam. Some students, they are afraid. Oh, exam, master, like that lah. Ni alone tak nak lah to them. But must explain to them clearly. It is not a guarantee. It is you need to justify your achievement of learning outcome. Okay. So that's basically what. Any questions so far? Yeah. Okay. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is what APEL is. We have explained in a little bit more detail APEL A and APEL C. I am now open for questions. Please ask your questions. It can be a little bit confusing at times, but once you get a hang of it, it's easy. A, assess. Assess, masuk program. Boleh, can we do? Tak boleh. Where do we go? MQA. C, credit transfer. We are the center. It can only take place when the students join us. Q, qualification. We cannot do. Certain institutions can do, depending on whether they apply for it. We did not apply for that. Questions? Please feel free to ask questions, guys. Okay. Okay, I'll just wait for a few minutes.
How many times candidates can sit for the assessment?
Receipt, satu kali saja. No, appeal, not receipt, appeal. Appeal. There is no receipt, it is appeal only. Appeal means yes or no. Yes means you get after re-evaluating. If no means you go and do the program straight.
Hi, Gabriel, can you hear me? This is Javier.
Javier, can.
Okay, let me ask kind of a long question, but it's much easier to ask it with the microphone.
Yeah.
Let me bring an example. Let's talk about, for example, a candidate that completed a diploma in another institution. Let's say a diploma in culinary arts. Okay. And approaches to join for degree, right?
Yes.
And of course, we're going to do the APEL-C credit transfer, right? And after the assessment, we identify that all 36 credits can be given, right?
Okay, Javier, I'll
But he
pause there for a
also
while.
says,
Javier,
yeah,
I will pause there for a while. The terminal is let me just correct your statement. When a student coming in with a diploma to do our degree, we don't do FLC straight away. Student will get their formal credit transfer. That is not FLC. That is just a formal credit transfer.
okay, then I remove
okay.
the APEL-C part there.
Okay.
So it's a regular credit transfer then for 36 credits, right?
Okay. Okay.
But he also states that after completing his diploma, he worked, for example, in a hotel as a pastry sous chef for 5 years, right?
Correct.
And he wants to join the degree in culinary arts, and because of his experiential learning through his work experience, he basically now applies for the APEL-C informal learning, let's say, for any subjects in degree that involves pastry.
Okay.
So in this case, he has these two avenues, right, for credit transfer. One is through formal learning with his diploma, and one is through his informal learning through his work experience. Am I right?
You are correct.
Okay, so then we need to tell this guy is, okay, join the program. So the part of the direct credit transfer from your diploma is done almost automatically, but the one for your experiential learning, for your informal learning, will take a little while, and you are going to need to apply for each subject with the corresponding fees and charges. And then we may set up some sort of an assessment form, like, for example, come one day and elaborate this in front of us, I mean, these different pastries, so we can assess that the learning outcomes for each of these subjects are achieved through your experience, and then that is approved, and then the candidate is informed about this, right?
You are correct.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Good. So what Javier has said is this student coming in with a diploma, the formal credit transfer is actually 50%, Javier. It's actually 50%, but your example of the first 30% will be accepted, Ken. Then after that, for the informal and non-formal, the student will apply for FLC for individual courses, and it will not be immediate in the first semester. It will be a gradual process. And we will do an assessment on the student. The school will do an assessment to see whether the student has passed their application. If they have passed, then they will get a credit transfer for that particular course itself. You are correct.
Okay, can I throw another twist?
Can, go ahead.
Okay, what if it's the same case, same student, but with one difference? And the difference is that this student wants to join degree, but he did not complete the diploma, he completed the certificate.
Okay, so very good question. Any of you here can answer that question. Is there anything whether the student, if only certificate, can join degree or not? Can or not? Come on, there's any of you? And cannot. So they need to apply through APEL? A, very good, Bagi. A first. So once they get APEL A, they join into the degree, then they can start applying for FLC.
So it cannot be done here.
No, APEL A cannot be done here, but let's say the student apply for APEL A already, then he passed, he joins us for degree, then when he or she is in the degree, they can apply for FLC.
sorry, where would he apply for APEL A then?
APEL A is applied through MQA.
Okay.
MQA website is government. MQA, actually, honestly, guys, there are quite a few institutions that can do APEL A, but my advice is tell the student go to the MQA website because that is official. That is the main official website, and application can be done at the website.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Any other questions, guys? You can put it in the chat or you can just unmute yourself and ask.
Hi, Gabriel.
Hello.
Hi, this is Shwada.
Hi, Shwada.
I'm not too sure whether I just bumped out of the world just now, but what do you mean by if like Javier case sample just now? If the student already have the APEL A to go in for the degree, and then what does it mean that he can apply for APEL C during the degree?
Yeah, dia macam ni ya.
Thank you.
Guys, you have to look at it this way. I will look at the camera, even though my screen is there. APEL A, C, and Q are three different products. Okay? A is to go into the program. It's called access to go in. Alright? So if I don't have the minimum entry requirements to join a program in Malaysia, I apply through APEL A access. Okay? So that's APEL A. Once I am in the program, I'm already accepted into UOW Malaysia degree, but I got many years of experience. I'm already in the program in human resources. Then I apply for APEL C, the process of APEL C. C is for credit transfer. So it is two separate things. Some students join the program with APEL A. After that, they don't apply for APEL C anymore. They are already in the program and they do not want to apply for any credit transfer. There's no issue. You are not forced to apply for APEL C if you go in through APEL A. Okay, so once a student is already in the program, then they can apply for APEL C, credit transfer. I hope that clarifies.
Yeah, okay. So basically the APEL A is for the student's qualification to go into the program. And then once inside, okay, he maybe just can shorten the duration of the study by applying for the APEL C based on his experience.
Correct.
All right, thank you so much.
Like the example I gave earlier on, I already have a level 7 qualification, but I can now join a level 6 degree. Let's say I want to do a degree, there's no issue. But in media, and one of it is on photography, I can apply for APEL C for photography. Because based on my hobbies, I love photography, I think I can apply. Then I will speak to Mr. Lu, who will put me to Mr. Zaki, who will explain to me, blah, 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 and so on. At the end of the day, they may turn around and say that, Gabriel, you may have done photography for 20 years on your own accord, but you do not know the fundamentals of photography. You are doing it just based on it. So they may even advise me not to go ahead. Or they may say, please go ahead and try, depending on my based on how they converse or they advise me. Okay. Same like base 3 subjects also can. Yeah. So any of you now, all of you, my fellow friends over there, so many of you here, what you have done, let's say one of you now want to do a diploma in hotel and catering, a diploma in culinary. You want to do a diploma. Okay, you may have your master's, PhD or whatever, but you have enjoyed doing cooking. You join the program, you apply for APEL C, the institutions at APEL C center, you can get credit transfer. You can actually apply based on what? Based on your experience, but they will give you a test. You may still fail, but if you are really that good and you are competent, you get credit transfer. So why did we as an institution apply for APEL C? The reason is because by doing so, it allows for working people to lessen or lower down the duration of study. The main thing is duration of study. So a lot of working people find that if you're doing a full-time degree, 120 hours is 3 years. Part-time is still 5 years. They cannot sacrifice that. So this will actually reduce the duration. Any other questions?
Maybe just a thought.
Yeah.
Why are we not becoming an institution that value this APEL?
Value.
That do all these sorts of assessment for this APEL?
We do. We are an FLC center, but not
Yeah.
all 4 institutions. We are talking about why all 4, is it?
No, I think she means APEL A.
Oh, okay. Cost, manpower, cost, certain factors that we thought may not be that feasible for us to approach it.
Or maybe not, maybe big cost, but not many
Cost.
of
Yeah,
returns.
And APEL A, just for application, is 30,000 per level. Then, so like example, you are up, but different, there are different costs to it. So that was actually an issue. But not only that, what we thought was at the current moment, we are not pursuing it, but who knows, maybe in the future, it could be an option. Yeah.
And one last thing, Gabriel,
Yeah.
for the example that I mentioned earlier, the direct credit transfer from a diploma to a degree, that is done without the candidate necessarily joining the program yet. But for APEL C, the candidate must join the program first and only then apply.
You are correct.
Okay, so somehow the system is designed in a way that for a candidate that wants to apply for some APEL C credit transfer through informal learning or work experience, he will have to collect certain amount of evidence and maybe be subject to some forms of assessment, plus pay the fees and charges that in a way may not be so interesting and appealing for that candidate. Therefore, we'll just say, okay, never mind, I just do the subject.
It could be. One of the main benefits is the duration. It's not needing to go for classes, and it's the duration. Like an example I gave you regarding our candidate, which is Prem. So for him, it was such a blessing because he being a radio DJ, time is something that he did not have much. So when he applied for it and he got it, he was very happy. That was his main motivation, the time saving.
Okay, so mainly saving time more than saving money.
Yes.
Okay.
Money of course 700 in reference to a general cost. We are looking at 1,500, 1,400.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions? All right, guys. So if there are no questions, thank you very much. Now, however, your questioning does not stop here. If you have any questions or you have any queries regarding APEL itself in general, I'll be happy to speak to you all. For those in UG campus, just come over. For those over in Penang, send me a mail, or whenever I'm in Penang, we can sit down and chat about it and so on. Okay? With that, thank you very much. Have a good weekend and take care. Bye, guys. Okay. Thanks. Oh, Jennifer is there. Bye, Jennifer. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.